Hello, everybody. You are looking live at Talladega International Speedway. Let's see something here. Can we make an adjustment here? Move this. Let's see here. Thought I had this lined up pretty good. Let's see here. I don't want that like covering up too much. What did we do wrong here? Give me 1 second, guys. Trying to make this a little better here. There we go. I like that better. Like that a little better. There we go. Now we got it. Alrighty. And we got some racing on there. First race in a long while. And it's the Winston from Talladega, Alabama. And let's get right to the starting grid. On the pole, Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, Bill Elliott, driving the 9 car. Outside pole winner in the 28 Hardys is Cale Yarborough. Starting third is Texas Terry Labonte. Starting fourth is Kyle Petty. In the 7, starting fifth in the 11, the Budweiser Chevy of DW. And starting sixth is Joe Ruttman in the 4. Bobby Hillin Jr. starting seventh in the 8. Starting 8th in the 21 is David Pearson. Starting 9th in the 43 is Richard Petty. Starting 10th is Sterling Marlin in the 95. Starting 11th is Phil Parsons in the 66. 12th is DW's teammate Neil Bonnet in the other Budweiser Chevy. Dale Earnhardt starting 13th in the 3. Starting 14th is Jeffrey Bodine in the 5. Ricky Rudd starting 15th in the 15 car. Starting 16th is Benny Parsons driving the 55. Starting 17th is Bobby Allison in the 22. Starting 18th is Dave Marcus. Starting 19th is Ron Bouchard. Starting 20th, Leg Speed. Starting 21st, Ken Schrader. Starting 22nd, Morgan Shepherd. Starting 23rd, Mike Alexander. Starting 24th is Jimmy Smut Means. Starting 25th, Handsome Harry Gant. Starting 26th is Connie Sawyer. Starting 27th, last week's winner. It's been a while, but it was last week. In the 27 car in 27th position. Maybe that'll be lucky again for Tim Richmond. Starting 28th is Buddy Arrington in the 67. Starting 29th is Dwyer in the 64. Starting 30th is Boys in the 49. Starting 31st is Eddie Burchell in the 6. Starting 32nd is Buddy Baker. Starting 33rd is Phil Barkdale. Starting 34th is Wowak. Starting 35th is Rusty Wallace. Starting 26th is Hume. Starting 37th is Lowe. Starting 38th is JD. And shotgun in 39th and last is Dick Scullin. And Bill Elliott's going to lead us here to the green flag. Let's get this race started, folks. It's been a while. This will be a 50-turn race. And that'll be turn 17. And then turn 34. And finally turn 50 to end this race. So here we go. The green flag. Bill Elliott leads us there. And it's going to be the middle group. And it's going to be heat. Who's got the heat? Nobody's got heat back here. Yep, there's only one, and that's Mr. Richard Petty himself's got heat. Nobody else has got the heat. See if Richard can get himself out of this middle group. And that's going to be a 5. Nope. So that's turn number 1. We go to turn number 2 now. And that's going to be a top group. And there's trouble in the top group. Here we go already, folks. Trouble in the top group. Let's see if this track, and it's no changes, so Bill needs a 9 not to be in trouble. And he gets an 11, so Bill's already in the wreck. Ain't that a damn shame? So Awesome Bill from Dawsonville be in the wreck. Let's see here. Kill Yarborough needs a 5, and he doesn't get it. He's involved. And Texas Terry Labonte needs a 7. He makes it through. The caution will be out. Already here at Talladega on turn number 2. Kyle Petty needs a 8. He makes it through. DW needs an 8. He makes it through. Mr. Rutman needs a 5. He doesn't make it through, meaning we got the big one. We're going to the middle group here. And Bobby Helen needs an 8. He makes it through. David Pearson needs a 5. He doesn't make it through. And the King needs a 5. And he doesn't make it through. Sterling Marlin needs a 5. We got a big one. Got the big one. He makes it through. We'll keep him right there for now so we know if we go into the bottom group. And Phil Parsons needs a 5. He makes it through. Neil Bonnet needs an 8. And he barely makes it through. Dale Earnhardt needs a 6. Doesn't make it. Jeffrey Bodine needs an 8. And Philip Reynolds joins us here. And Jeffrey Bodine makes it through. Ricky Rudd needs a 5, I believe. And that's a 7. He doesn't make it through. No, he needed an 8. He does make it through. And now you got Benny Parsons. Can he make it through this wreck on an 8? No, Benny's involved in the wreck. Next up is Bobby Allison. He needs a 6. Doesn't make it through. Next up is Dave Marcus. Needs a 5. Doesn't make it through. How many is that? 6 means we're going to the bottom group. Going to the bottom group. Ron Bouchard needs a 5. Doesn't make it through. So all these guys will move up here. So he'll move up to 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now the bottom group. First one up in the bottom group is Lake Speed. And he doesn't make it through. Lake's wrecking. Next up is Ken Schrader. And he's a wrecking. They're all wrecking. We got a big one. We got a pal up here, folks. Who's next? And that is Morgan Shepherd. He's involved in the wreck. Next up is Mike Alexander. And he makes it through. Jimmy Smut Means makes it through. Handsome Harry Gant makes it through. Connie Saylor doesn't make it. He's involved in the wreck. And Tim Richmond makes it through. Terrible Tim, starting back here, makes it through. Now Buddy Arrington doesn't make it. He's involved in the wreck. Next up is Dwyer. He's involved. Oh, they're not out yet. They can still repair the car. Trevor Boys needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Eddie needs a 5. Can he stay out of the wreck? No, not with boxcars. He's involved in the wreck. Next up is Mr. Baker. And Mr. Baker needs a 5. And he barely makes it through. Good job by Buddy Baker. Phil Bartle needs a 5. Doesn't make it. Whoa, whack. Bobby needs a 5. Barely makes it. And Rusty needs a 5. And he makes it with snake eyes easily through there. And Hume needs a 5. Doesn't make it. And Lowe needs an 11. He should make it through. Watch him get boxcars after a jinxing. Next up is JD needs a 5. Makes it through with boxcars. And the last one is Dick. And he barely makes it with an 11. Now let's see if these guys can get the cars fixed. So it's early in the race. And let's see who's up first with an E. He needs a 7. Hume does to stay in the race. And he gets it. We'll start him back here in 39th. Probably won't have everybody make it, but next up is Bartow. He needs a 7. He doesn't make it. Phil will be the first one out in that 00 car. Okay, so Phil's out of the race. Who's next? Eddie's up. He needs a 5. Doesn't make it. So the 6 cars out of the race will finish 38th. Okay, Trevor's up now. Can he get the car fixed and get back out there? And he needs a 5. Doesn't make it. 49 car. Boys. Next up is Dwyer. Needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Gets a 6 instead. Dwyer's in the 64. And Buddy Arrington, can he get this car fixed and get back out here? Yes, he does. So Buddy's back out here. Next up is Sailor. Connie's not going to make it. In the 44. In the 99, rather. 99. The Sailor's out of the race. Will finish 35th. And next up is Shepard. Needs a 7. He makes it through. Schrader needs a 7. Doesn't make it through. Kenny's out of the race, 34th. Lake Speed, he needs a 9 and stay in the race. And he makes it through. Lake's still in the race. And Ron needs a 7. He stays in the race. Dave Marcus needs a 7. He'll stay in the race. Bobby Allison needs a 7. He stays in the race. Benny Parson needs a 7. He'll stay in the race. Dale Earnhardt needs a 7. He stays in the race. King needs a 7 and doesn't get it. Richard Petty's going to finish 33rd in that STP Pontiac. David Pearson needs a 7. He stays in the race. Joe Ruttman needs a 7. He stays in the race. Cale Yarborough needs a 7. He's out of the race. 28 Hardy Chevy's out of the race. Hate to see that happen with Yarborough. Always liked the no-neck monster. And Ken Castro joins us here. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I don't do the YRL anymore, Philip. Rob's doing that. Yeah. If you want to see the YRL, you have to ask Rob. He took that back over last year. Yeah, I got too much going on. He asked if he could take it back over, and I told him more than happy to see him do it. And Bill needs a 10 to stay in the race, and barely does with a 9, so Bill stays in the race. Move everybody up here. So how many cars was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars out of the race. And we're on the turn number 5 after the 2 cautions. Flag. And now the green flag comes out. Texas Terry Labonte's got the lead. Kyle Petty second. DW third. Bobby Hillens fourth. Marlin's fifth. Phil Parsons sixth. Bonnet seventh. Rudd eighth. Jeffrey Bodine ninth, and rounding out the top 10's Mike Alexander's. We go back to green flag racing here, folks. And here we go. Turn number 5. After a big one. That's going to be the bottom group. And that's going to be a rare problem in the bottom group. Here we go. What kind of problems in the bottom group? It'll be a 53. Driver error moved to the end of the bottom group. So now we got to find the driver that's going to the bottom of the group. 65. And that's nobody. So we're going to say that's just a turn. We're not going to keep rolling. So we go to turn number 6 now. And that's going to be a bottom. That's going to be not a bottom group. That's going to be a duel here on an 9. And that's the 5 cars in the middle. And definitely Lowe's going to try with an 11. But Rusty's not. So Lowe's going to try to take on Rudd here. And it'll be a 2 to beat him. Needs a 2 to get the job done. Doesn't. Now, let's see. He needs an 11 not to wreck himself. And he doesn't. So we're on to turn number 7, the first pit stop of the race. And it'll be the top group. And 2 and 3 will switch spots here. 2 and 3. And now let's get some chips out and see if anybody in the top group can get a chip. First up is the leader, Texas Terry Labonte, needs a 5. And he gets it with snake eyes. Nice job by that Piedmont crew. And can the Woods brothers come through? Kyle Petty needs a 7, doesn't get it. Hillen needs a 5. He doesn't get it. DW needs a 6. And nice job by Junior and the crew. Sterling needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Phil Parson needs a 3. Doesn't get it. And last but not least, Neil Bonnet needs a 5. And doesn't get it. So only 2 drivers had nice pit stops. And now let's see if anybody can beat Terry out of the pits here. A 4 and a 5. So it's the 4 and no. So that's our pit stop. On to turn number 8 after the pit stop. Now Terry's got a chip leading. DW second. Petty third. Hillen fourth. Marlin fifth. Parsons sixth. Bonnet seventh. Rudd eighth. Bodine ninth. And handsome Harry Gant rounding out the top 10. And here we go. Turn number 8, and it's going to be a duel. It'll be the car number 3 in the top group, and Hilton to take on Cal Petty to get a chip here. It'll take a 3 to get it. He doesn't, and in order not to wreck, he needs an 8, and he's fine. We move on to turn number 9, and we got a middle group of a problem in the middle group. So who's got the problem? Poor Sterling Marlin's got the problem. Sterling Marlin blows up from 5th position. Sterling's out of the race in that 95 car. Now let's see who's going to move up to the top group. First one with a chance to move up is going to be Rudd. Needs a 4, and he gets the job done. Can awesome Bill get out of the rear with the gear and get back up to this middle group after being involved in that wreck? Bill needs a 5 to move up, and he does. So now we only got 30 cars still running in the race. We started with 39. 9 cars have left. And on to turn number 10. And Aaron Reed joins us here. Nice to see Aaron. And that's going to be a duel. Nope, that's going to be a re-roll. We're not doing the fume. And that's going to be a top group of Reflex. Who's got Reflex? Ricky Rudd does. And it'll take a 6 in order to beat Mr. Labonte. Plus, he's got a chip. And a 3-4 doesn't get it done. Neil Bonnet, can he get her done here? And a 4-6, he's going to make Texas Terry burn his chip. Now Phil Parsons going for the lead. And a 2-6, Phil Parsons gets the lead here at Talladega, folks. And that's Gold Bandit car. That's turn number 10. And now the 66 car's got the lead. And Bobby Hillen doesn't have Reflex. Cal Petty's got 2 chances at him. And it'll take a 3 to beat him. Takes a 3 to beat him. And a 1-4. Cal Petty puts that Woods Brothers number 711 car up front here on turn 10. And DW is going to get the lead. He's got 2 chances at him, but he's got a chip. And he'll take a 6 to get it done without burning the chip. And a 6-3 the wrong way. And a 1-6. DW takes the lead in that Budweiser Chevy without burning a chip. On to turn number 11 we go. As Doug Hunt joins us here. Nice to see Doug in the chat. Now turn number 11. And that's going to be a top group of skill. Who's got the skill? Neil Bonnet's got skill. DW doesn't have skill. So a 5 or a 6 will get DW. He's got a chip though. So here comes his teammate Neil Bonnet after him. Double Thunder. And a 3-5. Neil's going to get him. But DW is going to burn his chip. And Bobby Hillen Jr. in that Snickers number 8's got skill. He get by. Not on a 6-6. He can't. And last but not least is Cal Petty with 2 chances to get that Woods Brothers Ford back up there. And a 3-2 isn't going to happen. But a 3-5 is. So how about that? Cal Petty back to the lead here on turn number 11. Nice to see the Wood Brothers up front. And now we go to turn number 12. And that's going to be another top group and another Reflex. And here comes Ricky Rudd. This time it'll be a 1-2. Takes a 6 to get old Cal Petty. And a 1-6. How about Ricky Rudd putting that Bud Moore's Motorcraft Ford up front? on turn number 12. A lot of lead changes here already at Talladega. And now it's going to take Neil Bonnet, 5 or a 6 to get Ricky. And a 3-5. Neil Bonnet puts that number 12 Budweiser Chevy up front. A 12 car on the 12th turns up front. And now you got Bobby Hillin Jr. with a chance here, and it'll take a 6 to get it done. And a 3-2's not. Phil Parsons doesn't have. Yeah, he has reflex. Phil Parsons going for the lead. On a 5-1's not happening, and he's got a. No, he doesn't have a problem. DW's got 2 chances to get his teammate here. And a 6-3 doesn't get her done. And a 5-2 doesn't. So Neil keeps the lead. We go to turn number 13. And that's going to be a middle group. And there's a problem again. Another problem. And this time it's poor Phil Parsons that's got a problem. Let's see what kind of problem Phil's got. And a 25. He's got a cooling problem. And that'll be still in the middle, still in the top. So it'll take a 3 to stay in the race. And he stays in the race, but he'll drop back to 30th. See who all moves up here. They did cool down that car. Jeffrey Bodine with the chance to move up here to the top group. Nope. How about Handsome Harry Gant and the Skull Bandit? He moves up. And can Mr. Joe Ruttman, who was involved in that wreck, move up? And he moves up, gets out of the rear with the gear. Still 30 cars running here. You got Neil Bonnet in the lead. His teammate right behind him in the number 11 Budweiser DW, followed by Hillin Jr., Texas Terry Labonte, Ricky Rudd, Cal Petty, Handsome Harry Gant, Jeff Bodine, Terrible Tim Richmond, and rounding out the top 10 is Mike Alexander. As we go to turn number 14. And we got a bottom group of skill. Who's got the skill back here? And first one's up, Lake Speed. Gotta like Lake Speed. Awesome name for a race car driver. A 4-2-2. So it's even. And Rusty Wallace holds him off. And Benny Parsons. Can Benny get out of the rear with the gear? Matter of fact, Benny's got 2 chances here. 1-1-1. He's got problems, folks. We roll the triples. Poor Benny. What kind of problems Benny have? 25. He's got a cooling problem. And again, it'll take a 3 to keep him in the race. And nope, Benny Parsons will drop out of the race. And he'll finish 30th. Poor Benny. Maybe he can come up to the booth now and join us here, since he's not running in the race. The 55 Skull Bandit, Copenhagen. Parsons is out. Anybody else got skill? Anybody else got skill? Yep. Dale Earnhardt's got skill. Can he get out of the rear with the gear? And a 1-2-4. And he goes from 20th up to 11th, dropping Jimmy Means back to 20th. And we'll move everybody up. With only 29 cars still running here on the turn number 14. And that's going to be a challenge, a duel here on a 6. And that'll be Handsome Harry Gant going after DW. And Handsome Harry needs a 5. Yep. and he gets the job done. He'll get a chip. Now DW, see if DW can hold it together here. He needs an 8 not to wreck. And DW's all right. He holds on to it. So now we go to turn number 16. And that's going to be a bottom group of star. Who's the stars back here in the bottom group? If you're a star, you shouldn't be in the bottom group, right? That's for sure. Lake Speed, he gets double star here. He could possibly get to the top group. And a 4, 1, 4. 4, 1, 4. And he gets up to 8th, knocks Jeffrey Bodine back to 25th. Now Lake Speed's going to try and get into the top group here. And that's going to be a 1, 3, 4. And he goes from 25th up to 4th, folks. Lake Speed's flying through the pack. And here comes Ron Bouchard. He's got 2 chances here. He could do the same thing. 3, 5, 2. And he's going to go from 24th up to 17th. Old Dick Skillen's going to drop back. Now let's see if Ron can get out of the middle group. And a 5's not going to get it done. He needed a 4. And that's the last one back there with Star. We go to our second pit stop of the race. See what happens here with the pit stops. We got a top group. 6 and 3 is going to switch. And now let's see who's going to get some chips up front here. Well, first off, it's going to be Mr. Bodine, and he's going to get a chip. And here you get a second one, not with boxcars. Helen needs a 5. Doesn't get it. DW needs a 6. And he comes through. Junior and that crew's doing good. Ricky Rudd and that Bud Moore Thunderbird needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Cal Petty and the Woods Brothers needs a 7. They get it done. And last but not least is Lake Speed needs a 7. And doesn't get it. So half of them get it. And now see if anybody can beat Neil Bonnet out of the pits here. And a 5, 5. And no, Ricky can't beat him out of the pits. So now we go to turn number 18. And we got a top group of skill. Who's got the skill here? First one up is Helen, and it takes a 6 to beat him. Neil's got a chip also. And a 2, 6, he's going to have to burn his chip. And now he's got still skill. Cal Petty's got 2 chances at him and a chip. Can he get by him without burning his chip? Not with a 5, 5, he can't. And a 5, 2, he's going to have to burn his chip. Cal Petty gets back to the lead here on turn number 18. And let's see if he's going to keep it here. Yes, he is. Nobody else has got skill. And we're now in the middle part of the race. We go to turn number 19. And that's going to be a rare problem in the middle group. Let's see what kind of rare problem we got in the middle group. 25. Driver incident in the middle group. Let's see here. Got to do a driver finder here in the middle group. And a 43 is 4 odd. So that's going to be low. It's either JD or Rusty. And let's do it with Mr. JD. So let's see here. Driver's incident. Make sure I remember how to do this. It's been a while. So we're in the middle part of the race. Trouble. First we'll do low. And he needs a 9 to stay in the race. And he does. And JD needs a 5 to stay in the race. And he does. So both of them stay in the race. Little beating and banging. No harm, no foul. And now we got turn number 20 here, and that's going to be a middle group of skill. Let's see who's got the skill back here. And the first one was skill. Looks like Rusty Wallace. See if Rusty can get into the top group with a 3, 4, 5, and he gets up to 5th. Rusty does. Knocks Bobby Hillen back to 14th. And the next one with skill is Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. After being involved in a wreck, and he get himself back up in the top 7. And a 5.52, probably not going to get it done. Nope, Ricky holds him off. And now Mike Alexander with a shot here. With a 5, not getting it done. And the last one's Tim Richmond, trying to get back up here and win 2 races in a row, folks. Won their last race at Martinsville, and on a 4.35, and he goes from 9th up to 4th, takes Neil Bonnet back to 9th, and we move on to turn number 21. Close to the halfway point. That'll be a bottom group of Reflex. First is Phil Parsons. And that'll be a 1.52. And Ron Bouchard holds him off. Next up is Don Hume. And a 1.26. And he's going to get Bobby Wowak go from 28th up to 19th. Jeffrey Bodine just got back in that back group. Can he get out of there? And that's going to be a 3.35. And he's going to go from 25th up to 13th. Jeffrey Bodine gets out of the rear with the gear. Next up is Dave Marcus. He's got 2 chances here. And that's going to be a 1.36. And Hume's going to hold him off. Bobby Allison in that Miller highlight card. Can he get out of here? Not with a 5. Dale Earnhardt has 2 chances to get out of the bottom group. A 1.46. And he's going to go from 21st up to 15th. And he's got a shot at getting up to the top group next. So let's see what happens here. And a 6 ain't getting it done. And last but not least is Jimmy Smut Means. And a 6 ain't getting it done. And that'll be it for turn number 21. On to turn number 22 we go. And we got a middle group of smart plus a problem. First we'll do the smart. See who's smart back here. Don Hume smart just got up to this middle group. Can he get out of here? Not on a 6. And he's got a problem. What kind of problems for Don Hume? Trying to push that car too hard, probably. That'll be a 55. Odd problem. He's sure not an A. Nope. That'll be a 52 on the odd problem. Power steering problem. And that'll take him out of the race. So Don Hume's going to finish 29th. In the 49. See who's up next with heat. Who's got no Smart? Sorry, who's Smart back here? Anybody else smart? Bobby Hillin Jr. Smart. Not with a 5 though. And the last one that's smart is Texas Terry Labonte. He's double smart. See what happens here. He could get the lead, folks, on a 4-2-6. And DW is going to have to burn his chip to hold him off. Here comes Texas Terry Labonte again on a 1-4-5. He goes from 8th up to 4th, knocking Rusty back to 8th. Now we got the problem. And odd. Remember, right? Odd. And that's going to be Rusty with the problem. That's how he got past. Let's see what kind of problem Rusty has. 16. That's going to be a cut tire. See if he can stay in the race. Nope. Rusty's out of the race. Rusty's going to finish 28th in the 2 car. Only 27 cars going to be running here. So we're getting close to the halfway point. See who's going to move up to this middle group now. We got to bring 2 cars up here to the middle group. That's right. I forgot about old Hume blowing up, so we got to bring 2 cars up. First will be Jimmy Smut Means, doesn't make it. Low, doesn't make it. Bobby Allison, doesn't make it. Nobody wants to move up. Dave Marcus. Dave Marcus will move up to 18th. Next up is Dick Skinlin, and he moves up to 19th. We got 27 cars running, folks. You got Cal Petty in the lead, followed by Handsome Harry Gant, DW 3rd, Tim Richmond 4th, Labonte 5th, Rudd 6th, Speed 7th, Bonnet 8th, Alexander 9th, and David Pearson rounding out the top 10. So we move to turn 23. And here we go on turn 23. And we got a middle group of Smart again. Middle group of Smart. Let's see, is anybody smart? Dave Marcus just got up here. He's double smart. He could get the lead, folks. And a 2-5-4. And he gets from 18th up to 6th. And he's got a shot at the lead now. And Smart, it'll be a 4, 5, or a 6 to get old Cal Petty. And not with a 5, though. Anybody else smart back here? Bobby Hillin Jr. Smart. Trying to get back up to the top. And now a 5. No, he needed a 3. Needed a 3. Who else is smart? And that's it. Nobody else is smart on the turn 24. Turn 24 we go. Almost to the halfway point, folks. That's going to be a dual 5 car. Dave Marcus. And he's going to stay put with the 3 and the 5. He's not chancing it. He likes being up in the top group. So we move to the 25. Cross flags are out, folks. We're at the halfway point. Here's the halfway point as cross flags come out. And we got a duel, an 11, 3 cars in the middle, Helen and Bodine. Let's see here. Helen ain't going for it. Not with the Bodine's going to try it. You know Jeffrey, he tries anything. Jeffrey needs a 4 going after Neil Bonnet. Gets it done, puts Neil in a bad spot. Jeffrey picks up a chip. Let's see if Neil Bonnet can hold on here. He needs an 8 not to wreck. And he does. He holds on. We're going to turn number 26. We got a top group of star in the top group. Where's your stars at? Lake Speed's got star. And it'll take a 4, 5, or 6 to get Cal Patty. 3-3 doesn't get it done, but he's got another shot at him. And a 2-6. How about that? Lake Speed takes the lead away from Cal Petty here at Talladega. Cal Petty has led. Matter of fact, Cal Petty, not quite. He needed a few more laps to get that chip. He has led since turn 18. So on turn 26, Lake Speed gets the lead in the 75. See if he can hold it here. Let's see, anybody else got star? And DW's got 2 stars. Takes a 6 to get him here, folks. A 1-3, no. And a 6-1, no. But handsome Harry Gant's got a star and he's got a chip. And he's not going to need to use it on a 5-6. Handsome Harry Gant puts the Skull Bandit up in the lead. That 33 Skull Bandit takes the lead here on turn 26 as we make it to the pit stop here. Turn 27. And we got a middle group and 3 and 2 switch. 3 and 2 switch. And let's see how many people back here in the middle group's going to get some chips. We'll grab a handful here since it's the middle group. First up is going to be Mr. Jeffrey Bodine. He's already got one, needs a 6. And he gets a chip. No, he doesn't. Needed a 6. Now you got Mike Alexander needs a 3. Doesn't get one. Neil Bonnet needs a 5. He doesn't get one. Bobby Hillen needs a 5. He doesn't get one. David Pearson needs a 5. He doesn't get one. Bill needs a 9. He gets one. Nice job by Ernie and the gang. And that Coors Mellencamp. And Earnhardt needs a 5. Doesn't get one. JD needs a Snake Eyes. Doesn't get it. Bouchard needs a 4. Ron doesn't get it. Baker needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Rudd needs a, it's not a 6 or an 8. Well, it's an 8, so let's see if he gets it. He needed a 6. Needed a 6. Last but not least, Dick needs a 7. And he doesn't get it. So only 2. Well, actually, Bill's the only one that physically got one during the pit stops. Jeff already had it. So Bill's going to go up the 9th with a chip. And we go to turn number 28 with handsome Harry Gant in the lead with a chip. Lake Speed 2nd, Tim Richmond 3rd, DW 4th. Texas Terry Labonte is 5th. Oh, we got to see if anybody can beat Mr. Gant out of the pits here. And a 4-6 ain't happening. And let's see here. Let's start over. Harry Gant with the lead. Lake Speed 2nd. Richmond 3rd. DW 4th. Texas Terry 5th. Dave Marcus 6th. Cal Petty 7th. Jeffrey Bodine 8th. Bill Elliott 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Mike Alexander. And on to turn number 28 we go. And that's going to be a top group of star. Anybody a star up here? Star is born. DW's a star. He's got 2 chances at him. Takes a 5. Takes a 6 to beat him. And Harry's got a chip. 4-1 no. And a 6-1 no. And Leg Speed's got 2 chances at him. A 3-2 no. And a 6-2 no. He holds them off. Turn number 29. Moving right along here at Talladega. We got a middle group of control. I think that's the first time we've had control all day. Ricky Rudd's got control. See if he can get up to the top group in that Bud Moore Thunderbird. A 1-5-6 is going to get the job done. And he goes from 18th up to 6th. Knocks Dave Marcus back. And Buddy Baker's got 2 chances here. Could get the lead. Not with a 6. He's got a problem. Poor old Buddy Baker's got a problem. What kind of problems Buddy got? Hate to see Mr. Baker with a problem in that Crisco car. 15. That's a cut tire, which causes a wreck. And a yellow flag comes out. Let's see here if he can get this car fixed. We're in the middle part. That is a 5 or lower to get it fixed. Nope. Baker cuts a tire, hits the wall hard. We'll be taken to the infield care center. Mr. Baker's going to finish 27th. And that'll end that turn, folks. With the yellow flag coming out. And everybody will just move up since it's a yellow. 26 cars running now. We're on to turn 31. Got Handsome Harry Gant still in the lead. Lake Speed second. Richmond third. Waltrip fourth. Bonnie fifth. Rudd sixth. Cal Petty seventh in that 7 car. Bodine eighth. Elliott ninth in the 9 car. And Alexander 10th. We go to turn number 31. That's going to be a top group of skill. Who's got the skill? Cal Petty's got skill. 2 skills. And it'll take a 5 or a 6 to get Handsome Harry. And a 1-2 doesn't get the job done. And a 4-4 doesn't get the job done. Next up is Tim Richmond. Can he get the job done here? A 1-6, but Harry's going to use his chip and hold off Tim. Now Lake Speed, can he get her done? Get the lead back. Not with a 6-6. Oh, matter of fact, that's triple sixes. Oh, Lake's got a problem. Damn, I like Lake Speed. What kind of problems Lake got? Lake's got an odd problem. 55. Driver error to the end of the bottom group. At least he stays in the race, but he goes from 2nd the whole way back to 26th. Let's see who's going to move up here into the top group and the middle group. First up is Jeffrey Bodine. Can he move up? Yes, he does. He moves up to 7th with a chip. And can Mr. Lowe move up? Yes, he does. So Lowe moves up to 19th. Still 26 cars running. As we go to turn number 32. On to turn number 32 we go. And that's going to be a middle group of a problem. Who's got the problem? And it's going to be poor Mike Alexander who's got the problem. He's been running up front all day. What kind of problems poor Mike have? A 56. Penalized for rough driving. And he's going to stay in the race but drop back the 26th. See who moves up to the middle group. Rough driving by Mike Alexander in that Miller High Life number 84 car. Let's see here. Can Bobby Allison and his teammate move up to the top group? He does. Middle group, rather. So Bobby in that 22 Miller High Life car moves up. Remember, Mike got that ride with subbing for his Alabama gang member. Mike Alexander's part of that Alabama gang. We move on to turn number 33. Here we go. And that's going to be a bottom group and Star in the bottom group. Any stars back here? Lake Speed just got back there. Can he get out of here? He's got two chances here. And not with the 6, he's not. And a 4-4-5. And he's going to get Ron Bichard and go from 25th up to 14th. Anybody else with star? Buddy Arrington in that 67 car's got star. And a 5's not going to get it done for him. And last but not least is Joe Ruttman in the 4 car. And a 6 ain't getting it done. And a matter of fact, the 6 is a problem for Mr. Ruttman. He got a problem. And that's an odd problem. And that's going to be a driver who becomes ill. Poor Joe Ruttman gets sick in the car. Has to leave the race and finish 26th. Probably carbon monoxide after being in that wreck, getting into the car. So Ruttman will finish 26th. And now we only got 25 cars in the race. And we move on to turn number 34. Getting close to that last third of the race here, folks. And that's going to be a middle group of problem in the middle group. Another problem. And it's poor David Pearson blew up. That Copenhagen number 21 dam. So the 21 car of Pearson's going to finish 25th. That's a damn shame. And everybody knows the Silver Fox is my favorite driver. Bill Elliott's a very close second. But damn, hate to see David leave the race. Let's see who's going to move up here to the middle group. The Silver Fox was just biding his time, it looked like. And can Morgan Shepherd get out of the rear with the gear? Nope. How about Buddy Arrington? Nope. Bobby Wowak. Bobby gets out of there. 24 cars now running here at Talladega. And we go to turn number 35. We're in the last third of the race, folks. With your leader, Harry Gant. Followed by Tim Richmond. Darrell Waltrip, 3rd. Terry Labonte, 4th. Rudd, 5th. Kyle Petty, 6th. Bodine, 7th. Elliott, 8th. Hillen Jr., 9th. And Neil Bonnet rounded out the top 10. Here we go. That's going to be a bottom group of star. First up is Mike Alexander. Just got penalized for rough driving. See if he can bully his way back up. Nope. Next is Ron Bouchard in that 47 car. I haven't talked much about Ron. 2-3-3. 2-3-3, and he's going to go from 23rd up to 12th. How about that, Ron Bouchard? Moving on up to the big time apartments in the sky. And last but not least, Buddy Arrington. And poor Buddy doesn't make it through. And that'll end turn number 35 on to turn 36. And we got a middle group of control. Who's got control back here? Bobby Allison's got control. Haven't talked about Bobby much today. And that's going to be a 5. And nope, he needed a 4. Next one's Ron Bouchard. Just got up to 12th. Can he get to the top group, folks? On a 1-3, no, on a 3-3-1's not getting it done. 3-3-1. Dale Earnhardt's got control. And on a 1-6-2. And Jeff Bodine holds him off. You know Jeffrey ain't going to give him no slack. It's one thing I liked about old Jeffrey Bodine. He didn't take no shit. Neil Bonnet's up. And a 1-6-3. And control 1-2. And again, Jeffrey Bodine holds him off. Bobby Hillin doesn't have control. Bill Elliott's got control and a chip. Can Bill get back up to the top group? On a 1-6-4. And let's see here. So he gets Jeffrey. Jeffrey burns his chip, and Bill's going to burn his chip to get up there. So Bill goes from 8th up to 7th. And we go to turn number 37, a pit stop here. The next to last pit stop of the race. Let's see what happens here. And that's going to be a middle group 4 and 3 switch. And let's grab some chips here and see if anybody in the middle group can get a chip. First up is Jeffrey Bodine. After Bill just took 7th away from him. Can that Levi Garrett, Rick Hendrick crew come through? They need a 6. And he gets it. Oh, Jeffrey, nice job. Bobby Hillin needs a 5. And he doesn't get it. Bonnet needs a 5. And nope, Junior and the crew don't come through. Earnhardt needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Marcus needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Dick needs a 7. And he barely gets it. Good job. Dick and that crew gets a chip. And who's next? Ron Bouchard. Doesn't get it. Leg Speed needs a 7. Doesn't get it. Jimmy Smut Means needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Lowe needs a 7. He gets it. Man, nice job by these independent crews back here. Bobby Allison needs a 4. Doesn't get it. And Wowak needs Snake Eyes. Doesn't get it. So 3 drivers come through. The crews do a nice job. We'll see if anybody can beat Handsome Harry Gann out of the pits. And a 2-3. So DW gets the lead. He hasn't had the lead in a while. DW gets the lead from Handsome Harry Gant. Nice job by that Budweiser crew. And oh, Harry was, wait a second. Harry does have a chip. So Harry's going to keep that. Yeah, Harry got a chip. So Harry's going to use his chip and keep the lead. He's been in the lead since turn 26. That was turn 37. So Harry's going to keep the lead. Burn that chip. And we go on to turn number 38. And that's going to be a duel. 6 cars in the top group. That's Bill Elliott going after Tim Richmond. Bill's going to go for it, folks. And he gets it. Bill Elliott goes from 7th up to 2nd. Bill being aggressive. I used to call him Cautious Bill from Dawsonville sometimes when he would irritate me by not taking chances. He puts Tim in a bad situation. Let's see if Tim can avoid the wreck. A 7 or lower. And no, Tim Richmond wrecks. And that's going to bring out the caution. Tim Richmond is not very happy with Bill Elliott. Oh, terrible Tim gets wrecked after spending all day up front. He ain't going to win back-to-back races. With the caution, everybody just moves up. So awesome. Bill gets a fender into him, pushes him, and Tim can't handle it and wrecks. Bill's up to second now, trying to win this Winston 500. And that leaves 23 cars in the race. Now you got Harry Gant in the lead, Elliott second, DW third, Rudd fourth, Bodine fifth, Petty, Kyle Type sixth, Bodine seventh, Dick Skillen up to eighth, Old Lowe up to ninth, and Helen Jr. up to 10th. We're on turn number 40, folks. 100 miles yet to go. And that's going to be a top group. That was a 2. Top group of star. Who has the star? And Jeffrey Bodine's got a star, and he's got a chip. Take a 6 to get old Harry Gant without using the chip. And a 6, though, he rolls a 6-6. So he'll have to use his chip. But Jeffrey Bodine goes from 7th up to the lead. The first time he's got the lead today. And that 5, Levi Garrett Chew. Here on turn 40. And the next one with a shot at the lead is Ricky Rudd in that Bud Moore Motorcraft Ford. And it'll take a 5 or a 6 to get him. And a triple threes. Damn, Ricky Rudd with a problem. That sucks. 33. It's going to be an odd problem. And a 36. Radio problem. He's going to stay in the race, but he's going to drop back to 23rd. And DW's got 2 chances at Jeffrey Bodine. Take a 5 or 6 to get him. And a 5-3 the wrong way. And a 4-5. DW gets the lead from Jeffrey Bodine. Here on turn 30. Turn 40, rather. And old B.O. Elliott would love to get by old DW. He's got 2 chances at him and a chip. It'll take a 6 to get him. DW right now is leading the points after 8 races by 35 over Neil Bonnet and Bill Elliott. And DW has yet to win a race. Bill Elliott and Neil Bonnet have won 2 races apiece. Can Bill get by him here without using his chip? 4 or 5, no. Takes a 6 to get by him. And a 1-2. So Bill's going to have to burn his chip, but he gets the lead for the second time today after that wreck. So Bill Elliott back to the lead after wrecking. Nice job by Mr. Elliott. Now we got to see who's going to move up here to the top group and middle group. Oh, we didn't mark. Was it Tim? Yeah, we didn't mark Tim. That's right. Tim stayed in the race, didn't he? No. Yeah, it was Ricky Rudd. Tim fell out of the race. We forgot to mark that. Tim Richmond out of the race. And Ricky Rudd had the problem, but he stayed in the race. Now let's see if Dick can move up here. Nope. How about Lowe? Yes, he does with a chip. Lowe moves up. See who's going to move up here to the middle group. And Buddy Arrington's got us the first chance here, and he moves up. Like I say, 23 cars still running as Ricky had that radio problem, but he stays in the race. We go to turn number 41. Getting close to the end now, folks. And you got Bill Elliott in the lead with 100 miles to go. DW second, Bodine third, Labonte fourth, Kyle Petty fifth, Gant sixth, and the surprise guy up there is Lowe seventh. Dick Skillen, another one, surprise up to 8th. Bobby Hillen Jr. 9th. And Dale Earnhardt rounding out the top 10. And that's going to be a bottom group of skill and a problem. See if anybody's got skill back here. Mike Alexander's got skill. Can he get out of the bottom group? And a 2, 4, 2. And nope, leg speed holds him off. And that was the only driver with skill. And let's see who has the problem. And Dave Marcus has got the problem. Let's see what kind of problem poor Dave Marcus has. A 3, 12 rather. 12 on the problem. A cooling problem. And Dave Marcus will be out of the race. So Dave Marcus finishes 23rd. Hate to see Dave leave. So Marcus will finish 23rd. Let's see who moves up here with 22 cars still running. And it'll be Phil Parsons with a chance to move up, and he does. We move on to turn number 42. And we got a bottom group, trouble in the bottom group. Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's see here. JD needs a 5 not to wreck. And he does. It gets box cars. Alexander needs a 5 not to wreck. And he's involved in it. And poor Ricky Rudd with that radio problem needs an 8 not to be involved in it. And he makes it through. So that's only one caution. Now let's see here. It's going to take a 3 for Alexander to get that car back in the race. He does. How about that, Alexander? They get the car fixed. And JD, he's going to need a 3 also. And doesn't. So JD can't finish the race. He'll finish in 22nd. And that 70 car, JD McDuffie. And now we're on to turn number 44. Almost there, folks. 70 more miles to go here at Talladega. And we got a middle group. And there's a problem in the middle group. Who has the problem? Talladega's starting to win this race. Poor Ron Bichard's got the problem. 22. And that's going to be a brake problem. And Ron's not going to be able to finish the race. Don't need much brakes here. Don't understand that. So Ron finishes 21st. Now there's only one car left in the bottom group. Let's see who that's going to be. See who's going to move out. Can Ricky get out of this bottom group? On a 5, nope. Alexander needs a 2. Doesn't get it, so we're just going to go with Rudd. We're not going to keep rolling. Not going to keep rolling. On to turn 45, folks. Almost there. Here it goes. And that's going to be a middle group of skill. Who's got the skill to get out of the middle group? Nobody's got. Lake Speed's got skill. He's going to try to get to the top on a 3, 2, 4. And he's going to go from 12th up to 3rd. Lake Speed making a late charge here. Knocks Jeff Bodine back to 12th. Here comes Neil Bonnet in that Budweiser Chevy. And a 1, 3, 2. And Texas Terry Labonte holds him off. And next up is Earnhardt. And that Goodwrench Chevrolet on a 1, 6, 4. And Lowe's going to use his chip and hold Earnhardt off. Here comes Bobby Hillin Jr. up. And that's going to be a 1, 3, 6. And he's going to get Texas Terry Labonte. Move up to 4th. Knock Terry back to 9th. And Dick doesn't have the skill. He's got star. We move to turn 46, 50 miles to go here at Talladega. And we got a duel. That'll be the Bobby Hillin. Bobby's going to stay put. Not going to risk it. Not going to risk it. We go to our money's pit stop here. Last pit stop of the race, folks. Let's see what's going to happen here. The money stop. It's going to be both groups, 5 and 6. Switch spots. And it's both middle and top. So we'll grab all these chips here. See who's going to get some chips. It's a big pit stop here. The money stop, especially with both groups. First up will be our leader, Mr. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Can he get a chip here, folks? Bill needs a 9 and gets her done. DW needs a 6 and doesn't get it. Lake Speed needs a 7. He doesn't get it. Hillen needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Kyle Petty and the Woods Brothers needs a 7 and they get a chip. And Lowe needs a 7. Doesn't get it. Gant needs a 6 and he gets it. And Dick Skillen needs a 7 to get 2 chips. And he gets 2 chips, folks. Sure, can Dick do something here with those 2 chips? Terry Labonte needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Earnhardt needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Neil Bonnet needs a 5. Doesn't get it. Bodine needs a 6. He gets it. Jeffrey Bodine. Nice job by that Rick Hendricks crew. Jimmy Smutton Means needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Bobby Allison needs a 4. He gets it. Nice job by that Dyguard team. Bobby Wowak needs Snake Eyes. Doesn't get it. Gets double 5s. Phil Parsons needs a 3. Doesn't get it. Gets boxcars. Ricky Rudd needs a 6. Bud Morgan, nope, that was a 7. Shepard needs a 4. Doesn't get it. Gets a 6. And last but not least, Buddy Arrington needs a 3. And gets it. Doesn't get it with boxcars. So a few crews come through. So Cal Petty moves up to 2nd. Gann up to 3rd. Alrighty, can anybody beat Bill out of the pits is the question. And 2-5. Handsome Harry Gant beats Bill out of the pits. So Handsome Harry Gant retakes the lead here, folks. On turn 47, Handsome Harry Gant trying to win this race. That's Gold Bandit. On turn 47, only 30 miles to go. Here we go, folks. 3 turns. As Legend Sports Universe joins us here, check out his great channel, folks. And here we go. 3 turns to go. That'll be a duel of 5. And Lake Speed says he's only going to move up 1 spot. But he gets a chip. Should he do it? He's going to do it. He's going to take on DW. He needs a 4 or lower. Gets there. Puts DW in a bad spot here. But Lake gets the chip. DW needs an 8 or lower, not the wreck. And he does. He gets the 8 or lower. Now we're on the turn number 49. 2 laps to go, folks. 2 laps to go. 2 turns. And we got a bottom group. It's only 1 person in the bottom group. And that's a problem. And poor Mike Alexander's got a problem. What kind of problems Mike got? 46. And that smacks the wall. That'll end his day. He's going to finish 20th. Mike Alexander. Out of the race. Finishes 20th. We're down to the white flag, folks. The last lap of the race. Look at all these chips up front. The last lap, the white flag is out. So here we go with the last lap. And it's going to be the middle group with Reflex. Looks like Mr. Harry Gant's going to hold on to win this race unless somebody in the middle group has double Reflex. First up is Ricky Rudd trying to get into that top group. And a 2.55. And Ricky's going to go from 17th up to 6th. Knocks poor Bobby Hillin Jr. back there. Next up is Phil Parsons. And Phil Parsons has got a problem with triple fours. Kind of problems for Phil got here. 41. And he's got a battery problem. And he's going to drop back to 19th. Just move everybody up. Just be easier that way. And Bobby Wowak, he's got Reflex. Let's see if Bobby can get out of this middle group. A 3, nope. How about Jimmy Smut Means? A 2.52. And no, Ricky Rudd holds him off. And now you got Earnhardt with 2 chances. He could get the lead here, folks. Earnhardt could win this race on a 3.62. And it's Reflex. And he's going to go from 13th up to 7th. And Earnhardt's got a shot at winning this race. Well, he can't win the race because of old Harry with the chip. But it'll take a 6 to beat him and get rid of Harry's chip. So a 6 beats Harry Gant. Doesn't happen. Here comes Neil Bonnet with a shot to move up there. And a 2.62. And Earnhardt holds him off. Terry Labonte with 2 chances. He could win this race. Well, he can't because of the chip still there. A 3.12. And Kyle Petty holds him off without burning this chip, but he's got another shot at it. And a 2.43. And DW holds him off. Bobby Allison with a chip here. And a 1.63. With the chip, he's definitely going to get it. And he's going to have to burn this chip, so he knocks Earnhardt back to 10th. Here comes Jeffrey Bodine. And poor Dick Scullin doesn't have Reflex. With those chips, he could have maybe won this race. So Jeffrey Bodine with a chip, trying to get up into the top 7 on a 5. Not going to happen. And that's a 6. And he's going to take 7th away from Bobby Allison. Bobby's going to be dropped back to 9th. And that's your race, folks. The checker flag comes flying. And your winner chicken dinner is Mr. Handsome Harry Gant. Wins the WINSTON 500 here at Talladega, Alabama. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Harry Gant wins the race. So Harry wins the race in the 33 car. And how about this, folks? The Woods brothers and the number 711 car. Kyle Petty finishes 2nd. Nice to see Mr. Petty up there. Finishing 3rd. And the 9 car, after being involved in that early wreck, Bill Elliott makes it back up and finishes 3rd. He'll like that as far as the points is concerned. So Bill finishes 3rd, head of DW. Lake Speed with a nice race. He was involved in that early wreck. Speed gets up to 4th. DW was just up front all day, just couldn't quite get the lead and hold on to it. So DW, he finishes 5th. And old Ricky Rudd And he gets a sixth out of this in that Bud Moore Motorcraft Ford. And Jeffrey Bodine, he finishes seventh in that Levi Garrett Rick Hendricks 5 car. And how about this? A top 10 for Dick Skillen in that number 79 car. Nice job by Dick. He kept that car out of trouble and makes it up into the top 10. Nice job. And Bobby Allison, we didn't talk much about Bobby Allison, but he cracks the top 10. Allison finishes ninth. And Earnhardt, he rounds out the top 10 in that 3 car. And finishing 11th, Texas Terry Labonte's got to be a little disappointed. He was up front most of the day to finish out of the top 10. And how about the 12 car finishing 12th? Neil Bonnet started 12th, finished 12th in the 12 car. He needs to change that number to number 1 maybe. And how about this old Lowe? Old Briscoe Lowe in that 17 car finishes in the top 15. Nice job by him. And Jimmy Smut Means in the 52 car finishes 14th. And Bobby Wowak in the 74 car, he finishes 15th. And finishing 16th is Bobby Hillen Jr. He'll be a little disappointed. He was up front most of the day and finishes 16th. Morgan Shepherd, he finishes 17th. Didn't really talk about Morgan, I don't think, all day. But Morgan, he finishes the race in 17th. Where did Morgan? He started the race 22nd. Just hung around the back there all day. And Buddy Arrington, he'll finish 18th. And the last car still on the track and finishing 19th in that Copenhagen 66 is Phil Parsons, folks. And that's your race. Handsome Harry Gant is your winner. Congratulations to Handsome Harry Gant. Let's see what the next race will be here. Check out and see what the next race is going to be. I think we're going to Dover, Delaware. Yep, we're going to Dover, Delaware. To take on the Monster Mile. The Budweiser 500 from Dover, Delaware will be our next race, folks. I want to thank Legend Sports Universe for stopping in here. It's nice to get the racing back on here. You're going to see quite a bit of it. I think I'm going to go balls to the wall here with some racing in the next few days. And Doug Hunt joined us. Aaron Reed, check out his channel. Philip Reynolds was in the house. Check out his channel. And Ken Castro. Again, I want to thank everybody. I hope you enjoyed seeing some racing instead of APA. As much as I enjoy APA, it's nice to get the racing back on. I forgot how much I enjoy this racing. If you're new to the channel, folks, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out of Talladega, Alabama, hit that like button. It helps the channel out, and I appreciate it. Until next time, you all have a great day and take care.